I gotta make sure the wings are out for my hair.
The wings?
Yeah, because sometimes whenever I have my hair out and I have it curled back, I look like Charli D'amelio. So I gotta make sure that my hair has the little wings going on so I don't.
Yeah.
I kind of took that as a compliment when people said that I looked like Charli D'amelio, though.
You know, I don't find Charli D'amelio attractive.
Seriously,
No.
I think she is very pretty. It's my taste in woman.
She looks like, well, she's built like, I don't want to say all that.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
She's not my type.
I respect that, but I think that she has a good build. I look at her, I'm like, you have a pretty face.
Yeah,
She's got
be better.
That's cool. You know, I respect your opinion.
Like, I like my white girls, you know. Don't
Of course.
get me wrong, but that's I don't like Charli D'amelio.
Of course, we don't have to go into further detail on that.
Yeah.
However, this is episode 17 of the Brandon Alper Experience. Here I have my friend Chris Myers right here.
Good.
Of course, you nervous at all?
Of course I'm nervous. I'm always nervous.
All right. So one thing that I was gonna tell my next guest, regardless of who they were, is if you ever feel nervous, bro, just hiss at the camera, like directly at the camera, because it's not gonna get any more embarrassing than that.
Hiss at the camera,
Yes,
like
bro. Like hiss into the mic or just roar at that shit.
like you,
Like roar.
bro. I'm not roaring in the mic, bro.
You're not roaring in the mic?
No, bro.
That's cool. All right. So this is Chris Myers. I'm going to have him do a little bit of an introduction about himself just to, so the viewers know who he is. So let's know a little bit about yourself, Mr. Chris.
Chris Myers, born in Jersey, raised in Delaware, basically. I'm a quiet kid. I would say I'm pretty quiet. I can get out there, though. Don't get it wrong. I can get out there. But I'm pretty quiet, stay to myself, in my head a lot, But my friends know that I'm close to my friends. I talk to a lot of my friends all the time. But I only have, maybe 5 friends.
Okay.
4 or 5 friends that I can really call friends, So I keep my circle small,
I respect that.
Yeah.
What are you looking to do after high school?
Well, I went to Polytech for carpentry.
Yes, sir.
So, I'm starting a little bit now. Got into Eagle Group in Smyrna. I don't know if you know what Eagle Group is.
I don't.
They do, I don't really know. They make a lot of furniture, but it's furniture for fast food places.
Okay.
In the back, all the kitchen stuff, that's the welding, all that stuff. That's what they do.
Okay.
And I make the boxing for the when they ship. I make the boxes that they put it in and carry it to the. Yeah, I do that. So it's a pretty easy job,
How long are you looking to keep going with that?
Until I can find anything else carpentry related, like roofing. I was big on roofing, framing, anything. Construction, anything like that.
Okay. Cause one of those, I work for a roofing company actually, and it's pretty fun. I mean, I hop on the roofs to take the videos and whatnot, but being up there, it's exciting, but it's scary.
It's pretty exciting. When I was in school, we did a lot of roofing work with hammers.
Okay.
We'll be up there with hammers all day, hot sun, hammering, practicing our hammering. And then he brought in the nail gun. It's fun. That's where the fun starts, where you start working with the tools and stuff. And then the carpentry community is really big. You can really talk to any carpenter at your job. You can have a vivid conversation about anything. That's why my teacher was very out there.
The one thing about carpentry is that it's one of those jobs that you can do and you make a lot of money directly out of high school, right?
Yeah. That's why I chose it, because I can do school, but I don't like school. I don't know why, but I just don't like school at all. I could try in school and get straight A's, but I just don't like it. I think I'm lazy. That's what it is.
I honestly don't think you're lazy. Do you think that you get burnt out easily?
No, I'm just lazy.
Seriously?
Yeah, I could lay in the bed with my girlfriend all day, every day, and be perfectly fine with life.
I don't think that's lazy though, because that's actually you enjoying what you're doing. I think laziness is you wanting to do something, but you can't build up I don't want to say courage, but you can't build up the might in yourself in order to do it.
Actually, I wouldn't say I'm lazy. I procrastinate a lot.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Do you know what causes that?
What?
Your procrastination. Is it like, do you have stuff that you want to do?
Yeah, but I just like chilling sometimes, you know? But like I'll get up, brain pops up last second. Oh, I gotta do this. I go out the house and I make it in time every time. Don't know how, but it just happens like that.
I mean, that's exactly my way of living too, but I don't think that's a bad way to live as long as you get what you're doing done in the process. I think that's all that matters.
If I can get it done in the minimalist way possible, I'll do it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm not to flex or anything, but dude, I got 7th in the class for poly. I do not think I'm that smart, bro.
7th?
Yes.
That's pretty high.
Yes.
I was like 150 something out of 3. Was it 352?
Yeah, I don't know. Was it 260 or was it 3?
It was pretty small, actually.
Yeah, it was a small amount. I don't know, bro, because the entire time I was told that the freshman year of your first semester was the most important to your GPA, and if you messed up that first semester, you weren't going to be any close to top 10. So my entire high school career, I just took the easiest classes you could possibly take, and I literally just breeze through school with such good grades because I never challenged myself. I'm kind of worried for college because I never challenged myself.
I hate that I don't challenge myself in school. Like I wish that I challenged myself in school because I know I could do a lot of things, but that's just not me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not even really mad at myself for not doing it because I know that I'm going to be challenged in college. But the problem is I should probably prepare myself for that college lifestyle. But I mean, I'm also an 18-year-old kid, 16, 15-year-old at the time. So I'm not mad at myself, but I do wish I was. But at the same time, I don't think I'm going to have problems in college because I always find a way to get stuff done. I mean, it's literally Wednesday night, the day before we do the podcast, and we're doing this shit strong. So I think we're good, bro.
Yeah, we're good. You know.
Yeah.
Our minds change a lot as young adults.
It's crazy.
It's crazy because I could want one thing one day, next week, completely different. Something else, completely different.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works, but it works that way.
Do you attribute your change in mindset to any specific thing that has happened, or is it just over time, like you woke up one day, or is it over time, day at a time that everything's changed, or do you attribute that to one moment?
It's being active.
Okay.
Like going out, your mind changes a lot. You see a lot of different things, a lot of things like, oh, that looks pretty interesting. Let me try that. And you try it and you like it. So I think people should dabble in many things because you never know what you want. Later down the line, you could go to college 4 years, go down the line, and you're like, oh, I like this.
Yeah.
Let me do this. But now you wasted 4 years of your life and millions of dollars.
Yeah. So it's crazy. I was sitting here wondering because you mentioned that you had a girlfriend earlier. What's your love language? How do you love?
Touch.
Okay.
Touch. Definitely. Because I cannot text her all day. FaceTime her all day. As soon as I get in person with her, ice is broken.
Yes.
Eye contact, ice broken. I like that she gives me my space though, because everybody needs their space, but at the same time, I want to see you.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm talking about. So when we're with each other, that's when I bring out all my emotion. Like I don't like talking. I like showing my emotion. You know, because I'm not a big talker, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm an extreme talker. I love to talk, but there are some times where I literally have no clue what to say, and I'm just sitting there. My only way to show emotion, to show any sort of love, affection, bro, is literally just sitting there.
Yeah, because sometimes for me it builds up. So when it builds up and up and up, I just have to let it out. Yeah, you know, I have a lot of thoughts because I haven't been talking. I don't talk. I talk. I basically think to myself a lot. I don't want to say talk to myself. That sounds kind of weird. Because I don't really talk to myself. But like I'm thinking all the time, 24/7. So things build up, and then sometimes you gotta get it off your chest. It's the best way.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'll be sitting on the toilet. I'll be walking dogs down the street. I'll be brushing my teeth, I'll be washing my hands, and I will just have a thought in my head at all times of the day. And I used to, the one thing that I used to do was I used to say, Brandon, why are you thinking about that? Why are you telling yourself that? But the day that I allowed myself to have those thoughts in my head was the day that I felt so much more comfortable in my body, because I never tried to force anything into my head. Like, if anything just happens, I will have a conversation with myself about it. And I'll be my own mediator. I'll be my own middleman. Yeah. I'll play devil's advocate with myself. I will straight up have a whole therapy session with myself. I need to have a podcast with myself one day, bro. That might be the weirdest thing that anyone would ever watch, but I don't really care. I'd
watch it because
it'd be entertaining.
It'd probably go on for hours because, you know, you talk a lot. You know, I like that about you.
I appreciate that.
You get your mind, like, things, when you think something, you say it.
Yeah.
Me, say to myself, deal with it.
That's the thing, because it depends on who the person is, and it depends what my intention is on why I'm saying what I'm saying. Because for the most part, I don't necessarily have the intention known at all times why I'm saying what I'm saying, but I think subconsciously I do. So maybe because we talked about getting ourselves out of situations, like sometimes I say things in order to get myself into a situation just to get myself out of it, to see if I still have it in me, which is definitely a toxic trait. I'm not going to lie.
It's pretty toxic because I have that trait. I like talking my way out of things. I don't like to lie because I get a little guilt, but I became such a big, I don't want to call it lying, but it kind of is lying. You know? So
throwing little fibs.
Yeah, little fibs here and there, but I'm trying to get around it so I don't have to lie.
Yeah. That's how I was. So I was an extremely guilty person. So every single thing that I did that I felt as if I broke another person's trust, broke another person's, beliefs in me, that they thought I was a better person, moral values, whatever you want to call it. I was so guilty, bro.
All the time.
Every single thing that I did, I was just guilty. And I think it was because that I talked about this with Corey in the last episode. I felt as if I was putting so much pressure on myself to be perfect, and I wasn't allowing myself to be who I actually am. And I've always been the flirty guy. I've always been the person to give compliments. I've always been the person to like a person's picture on Instagram, regardless of what it is, if I like the picture. So, and that's what scares me, is because I think that a lot of people have their own written rules of what cheating is. And this is just talking about literally anything. This could be anything. But people have their own rules on what cheating is. But if you've grown up your entire life to live a certain way, and then all of a sudden you just have to stop living that lifestyle. And I'm not talking about, the obvious stuff that is that, but I'm talking about changing who you naturally are as a person. That's when you might screw up. Like, that's what really messed me up, because I didn't feel as if I was still being myself. So I felt as if I was tailoring myself to a certain person, and it really messed me up. And I would never blame the other person for that, regardless of what they said, because that's still me ultimately making that decision for myself to listen to their beliefs on what I should do. Because at that point, I'm not gonna lie, this might sound messed up, but that's a lie that I should be able to get away with and should be okay with me doing. Yeah. Because I don't always think that lying is a bad thing. Now, obviously, you want to be the most truthful person that you can, but lying and not saying certain things are at times good if you understand that what you did was wrong, and you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, damn, I fucked up, I messed up, and you are just like, you know what, this has hurt me enough. If I tell this person, it is extremely going to hurt them, and I've suffered enough pain, they don't deserve to suffer it. I'm gonna just let them fly. I'm gonna just let them do them. I have to deal with this. Yeah. So, also, I was watching this movie recently. I'm not gonna say what it was because it'll basically spoil the entire part of the movie. But it was all about honor. So back then in the olden times, people had to follow this strict code of chivalry, had to follow this strict code of honor. And the entire book was created to show that these people were allowed to break the code a little bit as long as it was selfish, but for your own good. Okay. So, and I've kind of started looking at things from that point of view, like if I'm doing something selfishly, but I'm not really harming another person in the process, but I could be harming them, but it's not, it's just me being true to myself and me really doing what I believe is correct. I don't think it's wrong. Now, depends, because other people would think that's wrong. I truly don't think it is, but obviously everyone has their own opinions. Yeah. But I can't get behind changing who someone is to you know, really you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I know you're trying to say.
Of course. But I want to talk a little bit about conspiracy theories. So one of the conspiracy theories that I talked to someone about recently was a conspiracy theory that every single person is living each other's lives. So there's all of our consciousness. So our consciousness is not actually ourselves, and our consciousness all goes to an otherworldly being, or we are all one. So it was described as like an egg. So,
I've heard of that,
okay, yeah. So someone is born and they have to live through every single person's life in the world in order to end up going to heaven. Okay. Because you have to go through every single experience that a person or a human can go through in order to go to heaven. And I thought that this was extremely interesting because that would mean that I am you. You are me. I am every single person that I've ever seen. And I started to live life a little bit in that aspect of like, I don't know what you're going through. You don't know what I'm going through. I appreciate you just for being here. And I've been trying to be a little bit more appreciative rather than being, I don't know, angry at other people, because we talked about, in psychology class, one of the most important things that I had learned was the internal versus the internal versus external problems with people. So when we look at another person's problems, we blame them. However, when something happens to us, we blame other people. So I've started to create, I don't want to say create excuses for other people, but understand that other things are happening to them in the process in order for them to get to that point in their life. So that's also a thing that we have to be more understanding, but there also is a line that someone crosses and, well, you're done. Like at that point, you are done. I'm not going to let you keep continuing getting away with this. Yeah. But there also, how do you draw that line? And is it specific to each person? How do you do that? When does it change? What do you think on that? Do you have like a specific line, specific, I guess, moral set value that if someone does something around you that you just immediately kind of don't want to surround yourself around them?
I don't really do that.
Okay.
I'm a really open-minded person. Okay. Like I think that made me stop being quiet, is getting to know people, getting to know a lot of people, a lot of different people. That's why I ended up going to Polytech, because I wanted to get to know a lot of different people. There's a lot of different people at Polytech. So I really broadened my surroundings. I have new friends. I miss my old friends, of course, but I have new friends, new aspirations in life. Like I wanted to be a physician's assistant coming into Polytech, but then there was no spots for healthcare or anything. Okay. So I ended up taking carpentry, ended up meeting my brothers, my two brothers, you know, and yeah.
That's crazy. I do want to get back into something that I was mentioning a little earlier and how we were talking about religion. So, so we were talking about the conspiracy theories and how everyone is living each other's lives. I thought that was really interesting. But one thing that I was talking to one of my coworkers about was how we believe that, in a sense, Christianity has won. Now, not ultimately.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that as in, what year is it?
2021.
AD. After death of Christ. That's Christian. It's Christianity. Yeah. Every single person in this world goes by the death of Christ. Goes by the year of Christianity. Like, goes by every single person in this earth goes by the Christianity way of looking at time. Yeah. That's insane.
That is insane because majority of the population is Christian.
Yes.
Some kind of Christian. I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, which is kind of Christian.
Okay.
But we believe it's more strict rules, more complicated thinking. You know, like we took the Bible to heart.
Yep.
Like everything in the Bible to heart.
Yes.
So it was a pretty, I don't want to call it, it wasn't traumatizing, but it was pretty sad.
Okay.
Because I didn't really have any friends growing up. I was pretty around women my whole life.
Yep.
You know, I didn't really have any guy friends, you know. Grew up with my grandma. I love my grandma to death. If she were to die, that would be, I don't know, I would probably lose myself because that's like one of my best friends. Mm-hmm. And then my mom raised me. Amazing mother. Love my mom. But sometimes I want to get to know my uncles, my dad. I'm close to my dad, but my dad went out my life early.
Okay.
He came late, but he was always there as a kid, but he wasn't there consistently where I could actually grow up with my dad, you know?
I have a question. How do you think that has affected who you are now as a person? Because I was talking to Corey about how a lot of people don't have father figures in their life, and how that can really mess up someone, and some people use that as their advantage and then want to become that for another person. But how has that ultimately affected you?
I think it's made me stronger.
Okay.
Because I've made my own man. In my head,
Yep.
I'm a man. I could say that, and knowing that I built myself, really. My mom, she built me a little bit, but I know she put me out. She threw me in the street because she knows that's how I learn. I learn when you throw me into something and make me figure it out. That's how I learn. And she knew that. So
I've always I like learning both, because I love being thrown into the street. I love being thrown into certain situations that I have no clue how to deal with, but I also can understand and sympathize with the people that can't do that and kind of need someone to hold their hand.
Yeah.
Because if you are grown up with a hand held your entire life, and I'm not saying that's how you want to raise your kid, but when all of a sudden that's gone, you have no clue what to do with your life, bro.
Don't know it all, really. And then when you get away from your parents, call them every day.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what you're doing at all. That's why I think kids go to college, because they're not ready to really live on their own per se, but like live with people like them.
Yeah.
They want the college experience or whatever that really means. But yeah.
I'm excited for college though, because I'm close enough to home that I can still visit pretty often, but I'm also not close enough to home where I can have my own little space, my safe space, enjoy myself. But I really am looking forward to the atmosphere, because I feel walking around with a ton of people that are living their lives, not the exact same way as me, but living their lives similarly to me, going off without their parents, going off to somewhere that they've never been before with a ton of people that don't know each other. I love that introduction into a group and a room of people. Room, obviously an entire school of people that you don't know, because in my opinion, that's where I thrive. Because when you show confidence, when you show pushiness, when you show that that strong will, when you go into a group of people that you've never met before and you show off yourself and you're able to create conversations, you're able to create rapport with a ton of people that you don't know, and create connections with them, and then possibly create connections with them with other people, that really shows a lot, because you're like, damn, that kid has balls. Like, damn, that kid can really do something, because of how easily he can just do that. And I think that's what I think I thrive in, because that sort of environment, just being able to do what I can do. And I'm not trying to flex or anything, but I am flexing.
We all know Brandon Alper.
Yeah. If you don't know,
stage, you know,
if you don't know,
during every Polytech pep rally, Brandon Alper
I made an appearance.
Made an appearance.
I made an appearance
in the crowd, on the stage, hear your voice, something.
Bro, I had to,
yeah,
because I'm not trying to be on some Lil Durk stuff, but I got to be the voice, bro. If no one else is going to be the voice, I got to be the voice, man.
Somebody got to be the voice. The voice of Delaware.
Yeah, someone's got to be the hero too. Yeah. Who's the hero? We got to find that out.
I don't know.
Or you could be both.
That's a
lot.
Gonna be hard.
I know that's a lot that you have to work with.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is nice being able to do that kind of stuff, but I think that every single person has their own route. Every single person has their own way of success. So I can be good at going into a room with a ton of people that I don't know, and you can be good at something that is completely unrelated that I am absolutely terrible at. Like, I was talking to someone recently, and they were talking about how someone was extremely stupid. And I said, all right, you are calling this person very stupid, but I bet you all of the money in my bank account that this person, and this is just obvious, but I'm going to restate it anyways, that this person knows a lot more about something that you have absolutely no clue about. Yes. And you can probably not care, but in this person's mind, that is one of the most important things in their life to them. So you can be really good at, a lot of things, and that person can be stupid at a lot of things, but they are extremely smart when it comes to cars, when it comes to tires, when it comes to computers, when it comes to TVs. It could be absolutely anything. On the streets, just stupid stuff like that.
Book smarts doesn't really determine how smart you are, because not everybody learns like that. Some people learn hands-on. Some people learn through like blueprint. Everybody learns differently. Yeah. Everybody has to find their way in life. Because I don't think I found my way in life, but I'm comfortable enough where I could say I can settle down.
Yeah. And I always say, if I was killed tomorrow, I would be pretty damn content with where I am right now.
I wouldn't.
Seriously?
No.
Why?
I don't know my purpose.
Okay.
If that makes sense. I think for me to live my life and say that I've lived my life to the fullest, I have to find my purpose in life. I don't think I've found the purpose in my life yet.
Do you have a specific purpose that you want? Or
no, that's the thing. I'm completely confused. Don't really know. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, I don't really know. It's kind of scaring me a little bit.
I don't think that there's a specific age that you have to need to know that purpose by, though. Because I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't know my purpose yet. But I'm not expecting to know that purpose until something really happens in my life.
Yeah.
And right now I want to go into psychology. So not to take this back to me, but I want to go into psychology. I want to help people out. However, I put a lot of stress on myself in order to help those people out, because I want to be the Superman. I want to be Captain Save-A-Ho. I want to be Captain everything. Like, I'm that person where I really, if I see someone in trouble or if I see someone in peril, I want to help them. And I think that might be my purpose. But recently I saw that some girl was going through some stuff. And usually I am always going to be the person where if I notice that you're going through something, I'm going to want to try and help you. Yeah. However, I saw that this girl has been going through this for a very, very long time. And I don't want to say that she wants to be in that situation, but it would be extremely harmful for me to get that person out of that situation. Yes. Because they're messing with some dangerous people. And me being innocent 5'5" Brandon, I don't want to get myself involved with that. So I'm just going to completely, I know it's sad to say, but I just got to be sideline watching.
Sometimes
at that
you can't
point.
Control it. Sometimes you have to let people be who they want to be. Even though you want the best for them, sometimes you just can't get in their head, because in their mind, their mind is made up. Yeah. They don't.
Yeah.
You can go.
And I mean, I was in a group chat. I was talking to some friends about the situation that was going on. And they were all saying, Brandon, you're being Superman. You're trying to be Superman. And I say, yeah, because I noticed that this person is really going through some stuff. They have some problems going on in their life that they are too afraid to speak up for themselves. They're trying to, but they're just not able to. And they were like, she doesn't want to help herself. She doesn't want to help herself. And I'm like, she clearly does. She's just too afraid to get herself out of that situation.
She's calling for help, but she doesn't.
You can't get your hand through it. Yeah. So it's like, try and get your hand through the grave, but you just can't do it. But it's scary whenever you see that situation, because you want to help, you want to, but then you don't want to endanger yourself, bro. And I mean that just happens with everything. Like the people that sisters, brothers, cousins are crackheads living on the side of the street.
Yeah.
You want to help them, but what happens when you try to help them?
I don't give crackheads money.
Nah, I don't either.
I feel bad, but at the same time, Walgreens is right there. McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, they're all right there.
I mean, they added 29, 39 cents to the McChicken, so it's not a complete dollar.
Nah, I hate McDonald's. I hate McDonald's.
Bro, I was thinking, right? And I love McDonald's, but I'm gonna get back to that.
No, I like McDonald's, but I hate McDonald's because I work there.
Oh, shoot. I hate it. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. They put me in the back off the rip, in the back on the grill and the fryer at the same time.
God dang.
Because we were short staffed. I don't know. It's crazy. Burnt myself. I have so many burns from McDonald's. It's just McDonald's. Even though I work Dairy Queen was chill. Yeah. It was chill because, nobody's really at Dairy Queen in the wintertime. Yeah. Everybody's going to McDonald's, Wendy's because not everybody's eating ice cream, you know? So burns, cuts, slipped and fall, did everything back there. Great.
Bro, by the way, I'm going to just say this to you. I'm going to say this to the viewers. I've never drinking a Red Bull before in my life. I've never drinking an energy drink, and it's kind of starting to hit me right now, so I'm feeling very talkative.
You're jittery.
Yeah, I'm a little jittery at the moment, not going to lie. It feels good, though, because I can feel like I could just chat about anything. But what I was talking about was I was afraid that I was talking to my dad about this, and I showed him a clip that I said in a podcast earlier, and it was something that I completely messed up my wording. So I completely meant the other thing, but I said the wrong thing.
What did you say?
It was something about how I only do things to help myself and not help other people. Well, no, excuse me. See, I did it again. Yeah. It's so easy to accidentally mess up when you're doing stuff like this because it's live. Yeah. And I was saying that if I'm helping out another okay, this is what I said. If I'm helping out another person, I'm only doing it for myself and not them. And what I meant to say was when I'm helping out another person, I only really do it for them without anything back in return. However, I said it vice versa. And I cut it out. And my dad said to me, he was like, I think that you should keep that in because people see that you are human. So when you make mistakes, they see that you are making these mistakes and you're just owning up to it and you are human. If other people were in your shoes, they would be doing the exact same thing as you. And they can see that you messed up. Yeah. But you clearly meant you meant what you didn't mean what you said, but you meant what you said afterwards, and they could tell by your actions, the way that you're speaking and that kind of stuff. So you
always gotta feel confident in what you're saying to get your point across.
And that's what I'm saying. And I talked about that in one of the older podcasts. You always have to speak what you mean and say what you mean. Say everything, because if you don't put everything that you mean out on the table, bro, people will take what you say out of context and flip that on you, bro.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell the viewers this. Don't be like me. Whatever's on your mind, get it out, because that is going to eat you alive for the rest of your life. It's been the things that I've dealt with as a kid in my head all the time. Yeah. Now it's eating me alive, and I have to get it out to somebody. I like talking now. I like having deep conversations with people because I can get things off my mind. It brings off a load. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, I mean, I'm completely with you. With my ex-girlfriend, not to bring her up, I don't want to talk about that, but I'm going to just be completely honest with you. My biggest problem was every single time I had a problem, whether it was with her, with other people, whether I was looking at another girl, I was telling her about absolutely everything. And I wasn't looking at the situation as if, holy fuck, I have other friends. Other people care about me. I wasn't thinking about that. I was like, I only have this one person that I can talk to, therefore I'm going to tell you about absolutely everything. Now I understand that I am my own person. I have other friends other than just the girl that I'm seeing. I can talk to my other friends about my problems. I don't have to only specifically go to that one person to talk about my problems with. So after I figured that out, bro, I have so much of a different outlook on life, and it makes me feel
Exactly
so
what you
much
mean.
happier, bro.
The more people you talk to, the more your mind will open.
Yes. And I'm gonna shout him out because I love him. He's my best friend. Do you know Anthony Saltarelli?
I'm not good with names and
You're good.
faces, you know.
Nah, you're good. He works at Dunkin'. Y'all don't need to know that, but I'm chatty right now. He has a very, how do I describe his outlook on life? He's very laid back, and he's kind of the version of someone, he's like Mater. He's like Mater from Cars.
Like Tomater?
Yeah. He has a screw it kind of mentality.
Yeah.
Like he'll just do things. Not saying that he's not thinking of the consequences, but he'll just do it as in like, life is not that serious. I'm doing this stuff for me. I don't really have a care for what other people are thinking about me in the process. You can judge me. I'm just going to do me. And every single time that I ever talk to him, he always makes me feel as if I can just stop overthinking. Like every single time he talks to me, every single time I talk to him, he's just one of those people that all of my, I don't want to say all my problems just go away, but I'm like, it's not that deep. It's not that serious. Why am I worrying so much?
To me, myself, complete opposite.
Really?
Yes. I'm always thinking about consequences, how this could affect my future, how this could affect other, like one of my biggest weaknesses is caring too much. I care too much about people. And people don't understand that I really care about people, but I don't get the same in return. It hurts my feelings sometimes, but I don't care sometimes, you know? I don't care.
Yeah.
That's why I keep my circle small, because I know the people that care about me, I mean, I care about them as much as they care about me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was where the conversation actually came up when I was talking to Corey about the whole selfishness thing. I said that I'm helping you out because I want to help you out and not because I want anything back in return. So when that whole conversation happened, it was just us being honest. Like, I'm going to help you out because I'm doing it for you, not for me. But I have nothing wrong if you shouldn't expect anything in return. But if you are doing something nice, you feel like you want something in return. But I feel that
Not
you should.
obligated, but
Yes.
you feel like you need the same energy back. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So you give the same energy, you get that energy back. That's what you want. But you have to understand that that's not always how the world works. And I found that out recently. I texted someone, and I haven't texted them in a while because something really bad, something really sad happened to them. And I texted them and I said, "Yo, I really hope you're okay. I saw something happened. If you ever need to talk to me, I'm always here." Not a response.
Bro.
Not a response.
Same thing.
And
Same thing happened to me not too long ago.
Yeah.
Told somebody I missed them. No response. Haven't talked to them in a month, 2 months. It's been no response still.
I mean, I don't want to say that I expected a response because I didn't. I'm not going to lie. I didn't expect a response, but I feel like I wanted one. I felt like I deserved. I feel like that's wrong to say. I feel like I deserved one because I don't know. I went out of my way.
Because you've been, it was it a close, really close friend?
Yes. And I was trying to be nice.
Yeah.
I was being honest. I was being true to myself. But whatever.
You know, friends come and go. You know, I wish I could be friends with a lot of people that I used to be friends with, but you know, things come and go. You'll probably pop up into my life somewhere down the line, you know, but if you're not in my life, then I guess it just wasn't meant to be like that.
Yeah. Nah, and I got nothing wrong with friends leaving, friends going away. Because I mean, I told you I had that entire friend group. I was really close with them. I haven't talked to them at all. Yeah. But I mean, I'm okay with that because I've said this multiple times on this podcast, but everyone goes down their own route in life. If I don't agree with what you're doing, or if I'm just not, if I don't feel that I don't want to say feel as if you're on the same level because that sounds messed up. But if I have a different want and different need out of life than you do, we have different outlooks. That's okay if we have different outlooks, but if our ways of getting there are different and I'm not really a fan of your way of getting there, I don't really want to surround myself around you because you're the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself around. You surround yourself around successful people, you surround yourself around millionaires, people are going to think you're a millionaire. If you surround yourself around a ton of bums, and I'm not saying that anyone is a bum, but I'm saying if you surround yourself with a ton of people that are presumably bums or presumably people that are drug addicts or whatever you want to call them, people are going to think that you are a drug addict. And you can't be mad at people thinking that because when you are around that kind of people, people are going to think that that is you. And I know this sounds messed up, but a lot of people in today's society, especially the youth, don't really understand that that is how the world works.
And sometimes I don't really care.
Yeah, and you shouldn't, but...
Yeah, because my friends, I have all types of friends. I have friends that don't do good things. I have friends that are doing the really good things in life. I have friends that are on the same level as me, doing the same things I'm doing. I have all types of friends, you know?
This Red Bull's starting to hit. So.
I wish I had one so I could...
Do you need me to grab you one?
You got one?
Yeah, I got one.
I got one, yeah.
So I'm going to change the topic real quick just because this is on my mind. And my mind just starts speeding when I'm like hype as ever, when I got caffeine in me. Do you know how Adderall works?
I don't know how it works, but I know what it does.
Okay. So I learned this in psychology, actually. Had to bring the wings back out. When a person with ADHD, okay, basically your mind is racing a mile a minute. So your brain is just moving. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna correct myself. But when you take Adderall, it doesn't really make any sense because Adderall is a stimulant, so it makes your brain faster. So if you have ADHD and you're taking a stimulant, how the hell is that going to slow you down?
You know,
when you think about that, right? Does that make any sense?
I have ADHD,
really?
But I never got prescribed for it. I self-prescribed myself.
Okay.
If that makes any sense. I looked on Google. I've researched it, and everything lines up. Even my grandma said, yeah, you have ADHD. But I never went to the doctor for it. I always dealt with it, you know? But that doesn't make any sense. How... I don't know. How does that makes no sense to me? Because I think to get where you want to, where your brain wants to be, you would have to do the opposite.
Yeah. You would think that you would have to take a depressant, right?
Yeah.
No. You would have to take a stimulant. Well, I mean, I guess you could do both. But the way that Adderall works is it speeds your mind up so fast that it slows down. So if you have ADHD and you take a stimulant, it'll just go... Your brain will start moving, bro. And it'll just slow the hell down. And it's really interesting.
It's like a crash, like when you like a sugar crash, something like that.
And that's so scary to think of. It's really interesting too because when I was younger, in my 9th grade, 10th grade, I did a lot of research on drugs because I was going into high school and I was afraid, but I knew that I was going to be introduced to a world of stuff that I never really knew about. So if I ever heard that, I don't know, someone was doing something, I wanted to know what the effect was on their body or what the drug made them feel. And I want to know the side effects of what it does. So I did so much research, bro. I did research on lean. I did research on Adderall, perks, everything, bro. Because I'm like, I feel that it is important for people to know what something is going to do to them if you do something. So all these people, I don't want to say all these people, but a lot of people that put these things into their bodies really don't know what it can possibly do to you. And I think that that's important for us to know. But I also understand the belief, and this kind of changes the topic a little bit, of there's also the kind of topic where you don't want to know what happens. And this doesn't really go for the drugs because you should know what happens, but when do you draw the line of like, okay, you don't want to know that this goes on in the world, but you also do want to know that this goes on in the world. So there's a lot of things that happen in this world that people should know about and that people shouldn't know about because it'll scare a lot of people, or you're like, okay, well, I should know about this. Like the effects of drugs on someone's body. But then there's also, what if there are aliens or we're going to die in like 10 years or something's going to crash into the earth? What if that happens?
The world's ending.
Do you think so?
Hope you guys know the world's ending.
You think so?
COVID it's gonna be the end of the world.
Really?
Because it's getting stronger. It's gonna keep getting stronger. We put the vaccine out too early. To me, I think we put it out too early, and the virus is eating off the vaccine, and it's going to get bigger, bigger, and bigger until we all die.
Conspiracy theory. I am not saying this is correct. Do not fact check me. I'm gonna just let Chris say his theory. Let me hear it. Is that it? That's it.
Yeah, that's my theory.
All right. You know, I'm gonna have to disagree. But
Disagree?
That's cool. I don't know. I don't think COVID's the end of the world, but
actually, I wouldn't say the end. The start.
The start of the end.
Start. Yes.
I was talking to someone and they were talking about how COVID is kind of similar to Infinity War. Yeah, I know that doesn't make any sense, but apparently,
explain.
So the snap, right? The snap was when everyone disappeared. So the snap was when COVID hit. The second snap was when everything came back. There were 3 snaps. And, God, I can't remember what it was. It was like bad, good,
and
there's going to be like great. Yeah. I can't remember what it was, but I'm mad that I can't remember that.
I get what you're trying to say though. Yeah.
And apparently I was talking to him too, and he said that these Marvel people, bro is the biggest conspiracy theorist I've ever talked to in my life. He said that all these people that are at Marvel and all these people that are at these, I don't know, that write these comic books understand the way that life works. So they understand that it's all a circle. So something has to mess up, then it'll get better. Something has to mess up, then it'll get better. Because you have to have the dark times in order to create the positive times. Yeah. And I think that's an interesting way of looking at it, because he was like, Stan Lee is a genius because he understands that, you know, the snap is terrible and then it gets good and then it gets better. Yeah. But then something else is going to happen that's bad. I don't know.
I think that really means you have to take a step back to take 2 steps forward. I think that cliche comes into play when you talk about that.
Okay.
With me, I don't like taking 2 steps back. I'd rather go one by one. Yeah. Because I don't like taking risks.
Okay.
I'm not a big risk taker. Like, I invest. That's a risk I take. I'll invest, because if you invest, I don't invest a lot though. Yep. You know, I'll invest a little bit at a time. Mm-hmm. Keep it calm. Yeah. I don't like balling out. Yep. You know.
I always say, don't invest the money that you're willing to lose. Mm-hmm. I mean, bro, I made a lot of money off Dogecoin, and then I never took it out when it reached its peak, and now I still never sold it. So I still made a lot of money if I decided to sell it, but I never sold it. But I'm still waiting for it to go up, but I don't even know if it's going to go up. Yeah. But I don't know. It's just something that I'm willing to continue to keep that money just in case that it goes up.
Yeah.
Because I'm willing to take that risk. I look at the money there and I'm like, that is money that I do not have. And if that money leaves, if I don't ever have to look at that money again and it drops to 0, I'm cool with that. I'm not cool with that, but like, I'm cool
That's
with
like game shows. Like, you know, when you win a lot of money and then you risk it. Yeah. And you lose it all. I'm taking the money. I'm out of there.
At what point on a game show are you winning a certain amount of money and then are you leaving?
When I'm not confident I can win 100%.
Okay. If there was one game show that you could go on, what would it be?
Family Feud, definitely.
Ooh, okay.
Of course.
Why?
Because I'm a very open-minded person. So I know a lot of topics, and my family watches Family Feud all the time, and I'm always number 1 answer, number 2 answer. I'm calling it every time. So I think I would get that card, definitely.
I get that. I love the videos of Family Feud where people are talking about how relationships are just absolutely ruined on Family Feud. Mm-hmm. That stuff is hilarious because Stevie Wonder.
Steve Harvey.
Oh, I meant
Steve Harvey.
What am I saying? I'm tripping. See, little stuff like that. I just step over my words.
It's cool. I do it all the time. I've done it probably 20 times during this episode.
Oh, yeah. Happens all the time. Yeah. That's one of the best things that I always talk about, because I was talking to this one person a while ago, and I mentioned how one of my favorite things about myself is I love listening back to these episodes or looking back at the text that I've sent, and I'm just saying, wow, I'm really proud of what I said at that point. Or then I look at other text messages from when I was younger, and I'm like, dude, what the hell is wrong with
cringe.
Me? Cringe, yes, bro.
I go through I don't know, my Snapchat's weird. Yeah. Everything saves to my Miles only. So all my memories are in my Miles only. I don't know why, but I will scroll through that cringe,
Yeah.
cringe, everything.
Yep.
But like we looked at life way different back then. So obviously it's going to be a little cringy.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, I was looking at my posts from 2017, 2016, and I always say, my thing is that I always believe that people actually can change who they are. And I think that I don't want to say I'm living proof, but the reason I say I'm living proof is because I'm the only person that I know has changed. Well, I mean, other people have, obviously, but I'm saying, like, I've lived in my own body. I've felt the change in my mind, in my body, in my arms, and my legs, and my fingers, and my toes. I'm just saying that because that's all I'm feeling right now. This Red Bull is hitting, it's eating me right now.
I only took a sip, but
you feeling it?
not really, not
bro,
really.
Continue going, bro. I'm feeling it. But nah, man, I'm serious when I say that because my mind just be racing.
No, we can't sponsor Red Bull. They gotta pay for that.
Nah, they're good. It's cool. We can hit them up. It's probably gonna be the last Red Bull I ever drink.
Yeah, until that promotion comes.
But at the same time, yeah, bro, I'm probably never drinking a Red Bull again. I don't know. I like the way that I don't want to say I like the way that I feel, but it makes my mind absolutely race. And this is the feeling that I feel when I'm anxious, but I don't feel anxious at the moment, if that makes any sense. Because when I feel anxious, I know this. I know that I'm anxious when I'm texting people and I miss words. So I'm texting people and I send a message and I look back at what I said and I completely missed a word. So that is probably the number one indicator that I'm feeling like stressed or anxious at the time.
There's two types of anxious. There's excited anxious, and then there's I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I'm scared.
I don't know
I'm
how
scared.
to.
I'm scared.
Yeah, scared.
Get me out of
anxious.
here.
Yeah. So, I think I'm more excited anxious than scared anxious because I miss. You see me post before. I've missed a couple words in my Snapchat post. I've missed a couple words in my text, but people always know what I'm talking about, so I don't really care.
Yeah. I've never really, when I was younger, I used to judge people's Snapchat a lot. So I used to see the girls, the guys lip singing on their Snapchat, and I was like, dude, you look so stupid to me right now.
Never lip sync, ever.
I'm cool if you do. I'm cool if anyone does. I'm not going to lie. However, I used to be so judgmental when people did that. I used to be very judgmental when people said yark. You already know. But I just don't care anymore.
I don't say, like spell it out or say yark.
Both.
I hate people that say yark, LOL. Cringe,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that is very weird.
Hate LOL. It doesn't sit right with me at all.
Yeah.
If somebody, even if in text sometimes, LOL can be taken a lot of ways.
Okay. I'm not going to lie. The only time that I ever really use LOL is if I'm trying to act cute. I'm serious when I say that.
LOL.
LOL. That's what I add at the end of the text messages. Because sometimes when you send something, you gotta be kind of sweet with it. So I like to send the little the smiley face with the colon and the parentheses.
Yeah, the old school.
The old school.
Because emojis are getting kind of.
They are, bro.
Yeah, too much.
Emojis are just weird. And I've started to realize that, but I don't care. Like, you do you, but I've noticed that the less I use emojis, the more confident I seem as if when I'm messaging someone. Because I think that when you use emojis, people notice that you're trying too hard to show the emotion that you're feeling rather than just letting the text speak for itself.
But like an emoji can do a lot because you could say something and then put an emoji. Whatever emoji you put at the end of that can determine what you're saying.
Oh, I know.
Completely differently.
Like, not to bring anything weird into this, but I mean, you could send an eggplant emoji. Yeah. You could send a little water emoji. I know that's weird. I'm just saying, but that'll immediately change everything that it's saying.
Yeah.
That's scary to think about, bro. But emojis, I've already talked about this, are a completely different language on themselves. And it's interesting, bro.
Emojis in real life are like facial expressions.
Yes.
So if you want to real life emoji, you have to mean what you say.
Yeah. And
express it with body language.
Have you watched The Social Dilemma?
No.
Okay. So it is a movie. It's like a docu movie. I don't know how you would call it, but it's documentary, but also describing in a movie setting. So it's a documentary, but it also shows parts of like a movie. So it could be talking about how bad cell phone use is and then show a real life example of how bad cell phone use is. So it's kind of that. And I had never watched it until last week. I was chilling on the couch by myself And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch this because I really wanted to watch it because I heard a lot about it and how dangerous social media was for our brains. And I always thought, I've always been one of those people where this is gonna make me sound like a dick, but don't really care. Where I'm like, I already know all this. I already know how bad social media is. I don't need to look at this and see what I already know. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw my ego away for a little bit. And I watched it and I was just like, damn, this is terrible for us. So the entirety of the like button was created for positivity. Social media was created for positivity, but now people rely so much on getting enough of that like button, getting enough of that Instagram like, getting enough of whatever it might be. And if you don't get enough of that, people are depressed, people are scared, people are sad because they're like, oh my God, that person looks so much better. Why are they getting so much more likes than me? Or I look so much better than you. And it's dangerous because not only is that bad, but they showed a little spectrum of the political spectrum. And it started out like here in 2008. And then the more years go along, the farther apart each side gets. So more people are becoming more to the left, more people are becoming more to the right. And that shit is dangerous because whether or not you agree with this, both sides realistically are right. Because if we look at the left point of view, they're looking at all the news, the outlets that are pushing that agenda. And they believe that what they're seeing is correct. Because in their eyes, they are correct. Yeah. They are correct. But in the right's point of view, they're getting a ton of news outlets, news sources, all that kind of stuff on the right. And in their eyes, they are also correct. And realistically, they are correct because that is what's being forced down their throats. It's what they understand. That's what they believe. So both sides believe that they are that they are smarter than the other side, that they are more intelligent than the other side because they have their own facts. And in their mind, neither of them they are correct. Yeah. They believe the other side's wrong. They believe the other side's wrong. And because they're getting this information forced down their throats, they're not willing to look at the other side because the way that the Social Dilemma showed social media was if you follow left people, then you're going to just get a ton of left people on your timeline. If you follow right people, you're just going to get a ton of right people on your timeline. You're not going to get the left side. You're not going to get the right side, vice versa. So it's dangerous because you're not going to surround yourself with other points of views. Yes. And you know what really scared me, bro?
What?
I put this on my Snapchat story. I don't know if you saw it, but they showed the amount of suicides that that teenage girls are going through right now. Yeah, and yeah, did you see the statistic I put?
No, I didn't see it.
So it was since 2011, there has been a 70% increase on girls that are, I believe, age 12 and up, and from the age of 7 to 12, there's been a 140% increase in suicides. So 70% 12 and up, and 7 to 12, 140%, I believe, which is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is insane.
That's pretty bad. I always say I grew up in the wrong generation. Like, I wish I grew up in the 90s or the 80s because everything was so much better back then.
You think it was better?
In its own way, to me.
Okay, good answer. I like that.
But nowadays,
I'll put that down.
Nowadays, yeah, you need to.
Put that down.
You need to. Nowadays, everything's easier. I don't like taking the easy way out. If you know what I'm saying. Like, I like hands-on. I don't really like technology. I'm not the biggest technology guy. Yeah. I really hate technology, actually. Like, if I could go back to the 70s, I would live in the 70s. Yeah. I hate this generation, to be honest. But it really messed me up, this generation did. I think that generation would have benefited me more as a person, being more out and then not in a box, or getting to know people through conversations instead of text messages.
Yeah.
So going out to play basketball. I go out to play basketball, there's nobody at the court at all. You have to text people and say, come out to play basketball. Like, I think that's kind of weird. I think if there was no social media, everybody would be happy with their lives, in my opinion.
I guess more happy, because you can't like have complete happiness. But I'm with you. Everyone is so separated now. And people care more about their looks and stuff on social media compared to how they actually are in person. And that shit is terrifying. Because back to what I was saying about this movie, I'm with you, dude. Because I remember being able to go walk or ride my bikes to friends' houses, and I'll just see everyone playing outside. And obviously I had a phone, but I was young and I didn't have to text everyone. And I was I think I might be wrong by saying this, but I've said this earlier. I think we were in the perfect generation that we got enough of our life to see both sides of the spectrum. So we grew up with the social media aspect, but we also grew up enough with the being outside. So
not me.
Really?
I was allowed outside, but not too far.
Okay.
Probably like within eyes view of the windows.
Okay.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't really make friends just walking outside, But like, I moved away from that part of my life, and we moved into a new house. Met a lot of new people. I started liking the lifestyle more. Started dabbling in the lifestyle. Really liked the lifestyle, so I just quit.
I really don't think that this time is really that bad to live in, and I'll explain. Because through the 70s, 80s, 90s, there was a lot of tension, because the civil rights era had just happened, just passed. So there was a lot of racism in America, and there is a lot at the moment, and I'm not denying that at all. But I think that we understand as a society that I don't think we understand as a society that we are getting better, but I think that as a society we're pushing to make it better, and we're not, and it's not the minority really anymore. I think every single person wants, I don't want to say every single person, because there obviously is a small minority, but I don't know how small the minority is, but I think that for the most part, people want equality, but a lot of people in today's society, depending whether you're right or left, have different views on how exactly to get there. Because the left point of view is to teach everyone about the past, but the right point of view is to not teach about it, because both views is everyone should understand what had happened in America. Like, it makes sense. Why would you want to hide that? That stuff.
At the same time, why hold a grudge?
Exactly. So it's both sides, because both sides, realistically, like I said, are correct. Because if you talk about the past, you're going to have an entire generation of kids being afraid of, like, and I don't know, I'm just saying this, but like, I don't know exactly how it is to be a black guy or a black woman, but growing up and you see all the terrible things that white people have done to you guys in the past, and then you're growing up with these people right next to you, and you're like, damn, is this person just like the people were in the past?
To me, that shows growth and how time really changes, for real. I think people are stuck in the past.
Okay.
We have to get out the past, because being in the past is not going to make our future any better. We're reflecting on things that they should be reflected on, but we shouldn't be holding grudges. We should have forgiveness.
Yes. And I remember that we mentioned this beforehand, but I'm completely with you, because I think that it should be taught and understood, but at the same time, I understand both points of view, but both sides and their eyes are right, both sides and their eyes are wrong. So it's just like, I think that for the most part, both sides want equality. It's just they have different ways of.
I think it's just certain people are stuck in the past.
But I do want to mention, because like I was saying, I mentioned this in the past. I was on social media earlier, and I saw this girl put on her story, and she was talking about how men she was I don't want to say warranting, but she was talking about how men use an excuse of making sexist jokes as a way of saying, oh, well, women are allowed to do it because, women are allowed to make misandrous jokes. And the guy was saying that shouldn't be okay. And the woman responded with, the oppressor can't be oppressed. And in my point of view, I don't think that whether or not the oppressor can be oppressed, I don't think that gives you a reason to still be an asshole. Because I don't think that you can fight fire with fire. Because how are you going to fix misogyny? How are you going to fix misandry or misandry with more misogyny, with more misandry?
Exactly.
It's like fighting racism with more racism, whether or not the oppressor can be oppressed or not. That's not helping either side. That's bringing more fire into the pit. And I think that people are reactionary. I think that if you give people a reason, if you give people a reaction like that, they are going to continue being mad. They're going to continue being angry at you. So if you say a sexist joke, if a guy says a sexist joke to a woman and a woman lashes out, gets angry, the guy's going to react. He's going to continue doing that stuff because he realized, and this isn't for every single situation, but he's going to like see that reaction and he's probably going to continue wanting to mess with you because that's how bullies work.
Yeah.
So if you lash back out, well, then he's going to continue doing it. But I think that if you just sit back, relax, I'm not going to say take it, but if you just understand that it's the gray rock method. So this is what a lot of people do when parents are toxic, and it's called the gray rock method. When you have a parent that is acting extremely rude, disrespectful, toxic, saying they do all this stuff, like that kind of stuff. If you just act like a gray rock, if you don't do anything, if you just sit there, you say yes, you have no emotion, the rock method, they'll stop. They'll get no reaction out of you, so they have no reason to continue doing it.
Yeah.
So if it's kind of like what MLK did. It's sitting at the what were they called? The sit-ins, like just not reacting, not fighting back, and it worked. Now, obviously, a lot of people got harmed in the process, which is upsetting, which is sad. But I really don't know. I want to say that would work because I have a very positive way of looking at life, so I don't want to fight fire with fire, but I don't know if that is always how the world works, but I truly don't think that making sexist jokes or saying racist things because the oppressor can't be oppressed is really helping either side's case, because I think it's just going to create more. It's going to bring more negativity into the world.
More tension.
Yes. More tension, more negativity. And it's just going to create both sides being more angry at each other. So regardless of what the situation is, just understand that, all right, well, act like a gray rock.
Yep.
Act like a gray rock.
Me, I have a lot of white friends. I love my white people. Love y'all.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. I like to dabble in different friend groups, but I have a lot of black friends too. And they say a lot of things. Like I've heard people say, I hate white people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? And they always say, slavery.
Yeah.
All that, bring all that stuff. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Have you ever talked to a white person, like actually had a conversation with a white person, like a genuine conversation? Because everybody's a person.
Yeah.
Everybody's people.
I know.
You know? And I think it's the people stuck in the past that are bringing it up and making it a problem. I
agree. I really do.
And, like, I don't want to say this, but it depends on how you're raised. That's first off. If your parents are stuck in the past, you're most likely going to be stuck in the past. And
no, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to someone and we had an 8-hour long conversation about race. Swear to God on my life, because I was just talking to them about both sides of the spectrum. And I really gave him a new perspective on life, because he was saying how when he's in a room, he's a black person, and when he's in a room with a ton of white people, he feels extremely uncomfortable. And I said, okay, why do you feel that way? And he said, well, looking at the past and how everything turned out with racism, with everything, that he has not something out for white people, but there is a possibility that one of the white people in the room is racist. And I said, in a perfect world, which is a utopian society, which is we're never going to get to, which I don't think we're ever going to get to, but I don't think that that's a safe way of living, because I think that that is bringing more fear into the world. Like, and I was explaining to him, I was trying to explain to him that I don't look at you as a black guy. I look at you as if you were a person. I look at you as if you were just like, and I'm not going to say just like everyone else on the street, but I look at you as if you were just everyone else that I've ever seen before. You are a human being. You are just like me. You're just like everyone around us. Now, of course, you have to appreciate the skin color. You have to appreciate the culture that goes behind it. But at the end of the day, we are both human, and I'm not going to look at you as if you were a different person than me just because of the color of your skin.
I think there's people that are that think they're obligated to show appreciation, which makes it kind of forced.
Yes,
which could backtrack a lot.
Yes, and I think that a lot of people feel, and I talk about this, a lot of people feel as if they are forced in order to do something because they're afraid of the backlash that if they don't do anything. And I think that happened a lot during the Black Lives Matter protests. By a lot of people felt forced to put stuff on their social media, put stuff on their stories, just because they were afraid of the backlash if they weren't posting it. And I think that it's really sad and scary that we got to that point in our lives, because we should never feel forced in order to post something. And I think that we should be loving, we should be caring, we should be understanding, we should be understanding of the struggles that people are going through and feel supportive, but don't feel that we are obligated to post something, because you can do so much rather than just posting something, but everyone knows whether you're helping out because you post something. And that's where social media gets dangerous, bro.
Because you can overly do it.
I know. And I always talk about this, because the people that look as if they're overly doing it, I feel that it really shows, because it makes it almost seem like they're trying to hide something.
Yeah, you're fake.
Yeah, they're trying to make up for it by posting so much about racism and race that it's, well, I mean, it kind of seems a little bit racist.
Just shut up. Just don't say anything.
I know. And it's scary, because, I mean, both sides, like I said to you, both sides of looking at the issues are correct in their own ways. And I really don't know how, because I'm very open-minded when it comes to issues. So I don't know which way is the correct way, and if there is a correct way.
But I get it. You're trying to show your respect. You're trying to, I get it. But you can overdo anything.
I know you can. It's scary.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, just talking, having these sorts of conversations, understanding both side, like points of view, and not being afraid to have these conversations, bro. Because also at the same time we were talking about forcing and overdoing things. I think that we're trying to force these conversations, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with with having the conversations, but forcing them in general rather than them just having them come up in conversations. But I understand it though, because a lot of kids are afraid to have these conversations because if you're not talking to an open-minded person, they're going to be afraid of what they might say to you. But I think that we have to be more open-minded in order for us as a society to continue moving. And I think that's what social media is bad for, because I think that it's creating less open-minded people and more closed-minded people for what their issue, or for whatever issue they believe in. So it's scary, bro. It's a double-edged sword.
You know, like you, Alper?
Why?
You ask a lot of questions.
I appreciate that, bro.
And that asking a lot of questions will take you places, because you'll never know. Somebody might know a lot about a subject that's really important, and all you gotta do is ask them, and they'll tell you.
I know. And people are afraid to ask.
Yeah.
People are. And that's what's scary. That's what's really,
like, even in school, asking questions. That's what got you your good grades, right?
Yeah,
asking questions.
literally.
I was always scared to ask questions because I always thought people would view me as stupid, or I couldn't word the question. I couldn't put my question in the words, you know?
Nah, I mean, when I were to take a test in school, I was the person, the human, I'm just gonna say human. I was the person that was always at the front of the actually, I'm gonna take back what I said. Whenever I went into a class and they were like, pick your seat, I always sat right in front of the teacher. Always, 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 because I knew myself well enough to the point where if I sat in the back, I sat next to a person, I was not going to pay attention. So if I sat next to a person that I actually, or if I sat in front of the teacher, I was going to pay attention. I was going to actually try to learn, because I love learning, but I'm not going to learn anything if I sit next to someone that I'm really friends with. So taking tests, I was always walking up to the teacher. I was saying, I was trying to get him to tell me something. I was trying to get him to tell me something, because a lot of teachers, if you just ask them questions, they will give you hints.
But there are some teachers that do act like you're stupid when you ask questions sometimes.
But I've gotten past that to the point where I don't really care anymore. If you think I'm stupid for asking you a question to try to get you to answer a question for me on a quiz, I think you're the stupid one, because I'm trying to get a better grade.
Exactly.
So it's all perspective. It's whether or not you look at the situation as, all right, are you going to look at me as if I'm stupid, or am I going to look at you as if you're stupid? Or is it just going to be like, all right, understand?
See me, when I go in the classroom, straight to the back, because
Really?
I told you, I like doing things on my own. I like learning things my own way, because that's the only way I'm going to learn. I can't learn off somebody else's way, you know? I always have to have something bad happen to me for me to really prosper.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, and I mean, that is how some people learn, and there is nothing wrong with that, because I'm kind of the same way. I have to, like we said earlier, put our feet in. I have to mess up, and that is how I learn. If I just do something and I'm like, oh yeah, I know exactly what I'm doing, and then I mess up, bro, that has created the most growth I've ever had by doing little stupid stuff.
Yes.
And I understand, all right, well, now I know not to do that anymore. Whenever I go around a certain person, whenever I'm around certain people, I learn. I'm like, all right, maybe I shouldn't be around this person. And then I mess up because I see that what they've done, and I fuck myself up. But then I always make sure that if I am going to mess up at some point, it's never enough to really screw up my entire future, screw up my entire life. Like, I know when I can mess up, and I know when I can't mess up. And when I know I can't mess up, I don't even let myself get to that point.
And then when you do mess up, you know it's a lesson.
Yes.
You know you can build on that.
Yeah. And then, but then again, and this is back to the forcing thing. You never want to force yourself into those situations, because when you force yourself, you don't learn. Or you can learn because you learn not to force yourself. So it all depends. It all is perspective. It all ends up like that. It's interesting though. So I see that you have love on your paper. And I was sitting there, I was thinking, because I was walking down the stairs one day. I don't know, bro, I have the weirdest thoughts when I'm just doing stupid stuff. I was walking down the stairs and I was like, do I believe in love? And I'm at a crossroad, because I do believe that there is a set out person for every single person in this world, but I also really like what 21 Savage said. And do you know what I'm talking about?
Say it.
Okay.
I just want you to say it.
I believe that he was on the Breakfast Club when he said this. And he said that love is when you surround yourself around a person an extreme amount. Obviously, you are going to feel love because it's all I believe that he said it's all the amount of time that you spend with someone. So if you spend hours and hours and hours, days on days, years and years with someone, obviously you are going to love them. And then I think that's what it was. I definitely want to know exactly.
Think about that though. Because if you don't spend a lot of time with somebody and you still feel that way about them, what does that mean?
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, but I feel as if us as human beings should know what certain feelings feel like. We know, you
know what love feels like, but you can't explain it.
No.
You can explain it?
No, I can't. I mean, I could explain what fear feels like. I could explain what happiness. I can explain what contentness feels like. Scared, all those kind of emotions. But love is the only one that I realistically cannot explain.
Love is like going with your gut feeling.
Okay.
You know you can trust it, but sometimes you feel iffy about it. Sometimes you'll second guess yourself. But when you know. You'll know the feeling, bro. Yeah. When you really, I wish everybody can be in the situation I'm in now, because I really love my girlfriend. Not trying to sound cheesy or anything, but I'm going to marry this girl. I tell everybody that. I'm going to marry this girl. I'm going to have a family with this girl.
Stamped. Y'all hear that?
Yeah, they hear that.
I heard it.
They hear that.
I heard it loud and clear, right in my ears.
Yeah,
I love it. Nah, I mean, love is one of those things that I cannot describe to people, and I wish I could.
Don't force it.
No, never.
Let it come on to you. My mentality when I met my girlfriend, just another body, but I actually got to know her. I actually got to have conversations. We would go to get ice cream, listen to music, and talk. That's what you have to have the same, It's a good topic.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I've talked to so many people that have just said, I mean, I get attached very easily. So I mean, that's number one for me, which isn't a bad thing exactly, because I think that I do a pretty good job of knowing who I can get attached to because I have good judgment. And one thing that I have recognized, and I think I mentioned this in the podcast with Kayla, who's the feet right now. But she said when we first started talking that, first of all, the talking stage is ridiculous. I'm gonna just say that, but
it doesn't exist.
I know it doesn't.
It doesn't exist.
I know. Whatever. We'll figure that out. But she said something to me, and I was like, what the hell? Because I have been told this so many times in my life, and I never know what the reason is. I've had multiple girls when we have first started having conversations, not talking, but just like conversations in general. Like I'll meet a girl, well, not meet a girl, but I'll start messaging a girl on social media, and she'll just pour out her entire life story to me. And
it's too much at one time.
Yes, and I'll get to that in a sec. First of all, that's my weakness, and I'm going to get back to that. But
somebody opening up to you?
Yes,
that is weakness.
Yes, that is my weakness. And please, I know not a lot of people are going to get to this, but if you hear that, please don't abuse that. Please don't. Yeah, but if you do, you can do it.
I think I'm the same way, because when I feel like you've opened up to me, it puts a burden on me.
It does, bro.
Yeah.
It does. But back to what I was saying, I've had multiple girls say, like, the first time we've ever had conversations, open up about themselves, say their life story, and they say, nah, I never do that to people, but something about you is just different. I felt a certain vibe the way that you texted. It seemed as if you really cared about me. And I was like, okay, yeah, I do care about you, obviously, but what am I saying that makes me different from every other dude that has ever tried to talk to you? Is my wording that good? Is my wording that prominent, that impressive, that you feel as if you can open up to me that quickly? And And they just say, well, I just know. That's the gut feeling that I get. And I'm just like, bro, what is it?
You don't get the gut feeling until you have contact with that person.
Okay.
You can't catch feelings off text.
No.
That's
I'm not talking about the catching feelings. I'm talking about completely opening up. Like you can open up without catching feelings. It was just like a whole trust thing. So they said that they could talk to me and they immediately feel as if they trust me without ever really talking to me more. And I'm like, what is different about me than other people? Because I don't want to say I look at myself and I just think I'm every other person that's ever existed, but what makes me so different? Why? I
don't ask that question.
You don't?
Because I can't even answer that question. Yeah. But it's just a gut feeling. But you can't base that feeling through text. You have to actually get to know that person in person. I'm telling you, I barely even text my girlfriend now. We do everything in person.
Yeah.
Promise you. I cannot text her for days, weeks. As soon as I see her, ice is broken.
Yeah.
Automatically.
Icebreaker. Did you have an opening line with your girlfriend, or was it just you messaging her?
I said yo.
You said yo.
I just said yo.
Damn. Yeah. I feel like I tried too hard, bro.
I was scouting her out. She was in my chemistry class. I was scouting her out, but I didn't really know how to come on to her. You know what I'm talking about?
She went to Poly?
Yeah, she went to Poly.
Still goes?
Yep. That's another reason why I like her, because nobody really knows who she is.
What shop is she in?
Environmental.
Oh, okay, that's why.
Yeah, she plays with dirt. I don't know why she tried. I don't know why she chose to play with dirt, but she plays with dirt.
She plays with dirt and makes plants.
Yeah.
I got nothing wrong with it.
Her plants don't last either. She had a project for environmental. It's on the floor, outside on the deck, face down on the deck.
As long as it works. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't work anymore, but as long as it worked for a little bit, that's all that matters.
Yeah. She's more of an animal type.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think that's why she chose environmental, because she loves animals.
Yeah. How did Polytech have an effect on you? What do you think that changed about you?
I think Polytech saved my life.
Seriously?
Yes.
How?
If I were to stay at Smyrna, I probably wouldn't know where I was going in life. I would probably have no job, no real job. Like, I have a real job right now. Like, I can go out. Like, I just got this job, but if I were to keep this job, I could settle down.
Yeah.
And I would be comfortable with my life, but I don't want to stay in Delaware. So I always have to branch out, find new ways to make money so I can get out of Delaware. What
about Delaware do you not like? Why don't you want to stay in the state?
It's boring.
Really?
It's depressing. Yes. I could drive down this road near my house. It's depressing. Farmland.
Yeah.
Just straight farmland. Mm-hmm. So much open land. Besides, like Dover, Wilmington, all of them. But it's just so much open land. And there's not really much to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to walk on the street and make friends. I can't do that in Delaware.
That's true.
Yeah.
I do want to bring up a conversation that we were talking about earlier, because it just popped up back to my head, and I wanted to finish off what I was saying. The one thing that I really do like about this time period, not to change the subject back, because it was just what I was back into my head. I really do think, I know you disagree with me because you said you want to live in times earlier, but I really love 2020, 2021, because I think that we are living in a extremely experimental stage in life.
We're living in history.
Oh my God, I know.
I hate being a project. Like,
yeah. But I'm not talking about COVID. I'm talking about the fact that this political spectrum is so separated. I'm talking about the introduction of cell phones. I'm talking about there's so many problems that we are trying to fix and that we are experimenting in order to find it out. And I don't know if we are actually going to be the group of people that lives in order to find it out, but we are living in, I would say, the best time we've probably ever had, because regardless of what anyone says, we are much better than we were 60 years ago.
Yeah.
We're much better than we were 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 300 years ago. And I think that we are truly only getting better from here, and we're living through an experimental stage because, like I said earlier, we look at the past, right? History repeats itself. However, we're living in a time where this could be bad or good, where we don't have an answer. So right now, we're trying to find out the answer and what works. So it's just like, yes, it's bad, but we're also getting better and better and better over time. And it's interesting to me because we're living through the age of social media, which is terrible. It's sad. It's upsetting. But I really do think that it's going to end up getting better because even though I do believe that, there's a lot of evil in the world, I think that there's enough good in order to push out the evil. Maybe I'm just too optimistic, but I do believe that. I really do. And I think that we're going to be able to a little separate ourselves from social media enough in order for us to live like in a better society and get rid of all the tension throughout America. But I don't know if it's going to be as fast as we think it is. But it's also much better than it was. So even though like there is a lot of tension, I think that it's much better than it was. And I think we're living in that period of it getting better. And I think that's really good. Yeah. So there's that, as well as one thing that I will say about social media is I am afraid though for the health of America.
What do you mean? You mean physical health, mental health?
All, but there is an extreme obesity crisis in America, dude.
Yes.
And it's upsetting. It's really sad because, I mean, it also goes hand in hand with cell phones because everyone's on their cell phone. No one's getting up. It's turning into WALL-E, bro.
That's a good way to put. I never thought about. That's actually a good. Yeah, that's a good reference.
But do you think that we are ultimately going to turn into WALL-E, or are we going to find out a way to stop that before we really get to it, or is it too late? Are we too far gone?
I think we're smart enough to work our way around it.
I agree. Yeah. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just there's also so much interesting like conspiracy theories and stuff. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I love listening to them. I like conspiracy theories, but I don't think I like conspiracy theorists because the one thing is that I have with conspiracy theorists is like people say, "Oh my God, they're right. Oh my God." But you have to look at it this way. It's the same way of the Simpsons stuff. And we already discussed the obesity thing, so we're past that. But when we look at conspiracy theories, I look at the Simpsons and people always say, "Oh my God, the Simpsons, they predicted the future." Well, when you have so much episodes, so much time in order to create these opinions, in order to like create stuff that's going to happen in the future, obviously something is going to end up correct. If you continue to spew out conspiracy theories, at least one of them is going to end up correct. So I don't know. We're in a very experimental time in America right now. Well, just in the world. I mean, we're trying to go to Mars, dude. What the hell? Dude,
not gonna lie,
so crazy.
I hate gravity.
For real?
I hate gravity. Pisses me off so much. Like I used to work at Walmart distribution center. You know, I used to put boxes in the truck.
Yeah.
If I put one box wrong, a whole wall could fall on me.
Jeez.
Not like crush me or anything, but like the whole wall would fall on me, and that happened all the time, like every day. And then on top of that, we have conveyor belts.
Yeah.
But the conveyor belts take up maybe like 1/2 or 1/4 of the whole trailer.
Okay.
And there's the boxes, they get smushed and they like pressed together.
Yeah.
And then when I take one box out, they all and everything's hitting me. And I hate that. I hate tripping. I'm clumsy. I hate it. If I was on the moon, I'd probably just bounce back up and keep walking. Like I would fall, and then just go back and just keep walking. I probably would never fall if it was gravity. And I have bad knees. I have no tissue in my knees, so I can't really, I used to play basketball. Was never, I could jump, but I can't jump off, like, how they jump off one leg?
Yeah.
I can't do that.
You have to jump off both.
I have to jump off both, and I'm not coordinated enough to really do things off jumping off two legs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. How long have you been playing basketball for?
I started playing basketball in, I would say, 8th grade.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't a big hooper until 8th grade. People told me that I could be good, but I never really believed it. I never really took it seriously. I never went to AAU. My first basketball, like real basketball game, was my freshman year at Smyrna. And I've never had any experience playing that sport, really, besides going to the park. Besides that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What position did you play?
Polytech.
That's the position you played?
Played center.
Oh, okay.
Played forward. They just never knew where to put me because I didn't even know who I was. I wasn't big enough, to be a real big man, but I wasn't really a big man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? And I never played basketball enough to be confident enough to do things I should be able to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So confidence comes with a lot of it. If you don't have confidence, you can have all the skill in the world, but if you have no confidence, that plays a big part, because I see players talented, very talented. They have no confidence. They don't do anything. They don't do anything with the sport, but they're so talented. I see players that are cocky and they're going places because they're confident in what they do. You have to be confident in what you do in anything you do. I think sports plays a big role in that in people's lives because they teach you life lessons like that. But I was never really, if I were to play sports when I was little, like if I grew up with my dad, he would probably have me in the gym playing sports, but it wasn't like that.
I love that opinion because I know people that if they put their mind to something, they are extremely good at it. Anything they do, whether it's spike ball, basketball, Fortnite, Call of Duty, anything. But they're so, I don't want to say lazy, because I really don't believe people are lazy. It depends on who you are. I try to have a good view on people, and I think that most people aren't lazy. I try to create excuses for them, which might be my problem. But I do think that like people I know can do anything extremely well, but they just don't, because either they know that they are extremely well and they just don't feel as if they need to prove themselves. And it's interesting because I have friends, like I said, that are like that. And then I have the friends that I know are like, dude, you're so good at this. Why don't you continue doing it? And they're just like, I don't care enough. And I respect that, bro. If you don't care enough to continue doing something, regardless of how good you are, why would you continue doing it?
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people get stuck into doing that because it's just normal for you. So if you grow up playing basketball your entire life and you stop liking basketball, you feel forced to continue playing basketball. If you're in a relationship for an extreme amount of time and you just don't like it anymore, that's what you're used to. That's what's normal to you. You're afraid to get out of that. And that just goes for absolutely everything. A job.
But I think with a job, you probably have to deal with that.
Yeah.
In some ways, because you can like your job, but you'll get tired of it soon. So you have to create new ways to like your job.
Yeah.
So like, how do I put this? Let's say you like doing podcasts.
Yeah.
Let's say you get tired of it. One day you're like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. What
you can do is get new equipment. Yeah. Try new equipment out. That's going to get you more into what you like, because
I understand what you're saying, but what I would do is like change the setting.
Just a little change will change your whole perspective on something.
And I always say, I'll repeat this because we're an hour and 40 minutes in. My next studio, because I'm going to try and build my own studio in my dorm room or somehow build a studio because I want to continue doing this during college, is create more of a relaxed environment, because I feel that this is definitely a great way to have a conversation, because it's very formal, it's very professional. But sometimes I don't always want formal professional conversations.
Like beanbags and lounge.
Kinda, yeah. So I wanna be able to set up a little lounge area where I'm just chilling. People are laid back, and I don't know if you know what Flagrant 2 is, but it's Charlemagne and Andrew Scholes, and they're laying back in chairs. They have their things up like this, and they're just talking, and it seems so relaxed. It seems so calm, and that's kind of what I've been doing with these lights being off, because I feel more in my element when these lights are off. When everything's on, I don't want to say I feel like the pressure's on me, but I feel that I have to be extremely presentable. I have to be strong, not strong, but I have to kind of put on an ego. But the lights are off, and you know what happens when the lights are off. It's late at night. You go demon
I like
time.
nighttime. Yeah,
of course.
Nighttime is probably best time of the day.
It is best, in my opinion, best time of the day, best time to really have a conversation about meaningful stuff. And that's why I really like doing these podcasts at night. Obviously, I don't do it purposefully, but I kind of do it purposefully. Yeah. And that's the best way to do it. But lights off, have a Red Bull. I don't know. I might continue doing this. I said that I would never drink another one of these in my life, but I think I'm addicted.
It's not bad. I thought it would taste terrible.
Oh, have you never had one before?
I've never had a Red Bull.
Yeah, I've never had an energy drink. Like, I've obviously had sips of one before, but never an actual...
I've had, like, Bang energy drinks. Yeah. Those are good to me, but I've never had a Red Bull.
This definitely makes me much more talkable, much more talkative, because, I mean, I have conversations, but I'm just talking out my ass. Because when I'm having some podcasts, I think I think a little bit too much about what I'm trying to say. But with this, you're just spewing out stuff, talking, and you're just relaxing, bro.
That's one of my other biggest problems.
It's good.
Thinking too much, overthinking. That gets me in a lot of trouble, because I can, even with simple things like tests, you can go off. Your first thought is probably the right thought. Yeah. You know, if you second guess yourself, you're going to convince yourself that you're wrong. Just can't talk today.
You're good. It's that caffeine hitting you, bro.
Yeah. I actually grew up with a speech impediment.
Seriously?
Been battling that my whole life.
You do a really good job at hiding that then.
It was really bad. It was a time where I wasn't confident enough to talk. Like, my family couldn't understand me when I was little, so I just stopped talking to people.
That's insane.
I would start pointing, or, you know, doing stuff like that to get my point across, you know? I don't want to say I'm similar to you, but my hearing's really weird. So whenever I hear loud noises, I blink. So that's obvious. Everyone, when they hear loud noises, blinks. But I mean, like, any sort of like a blink, or like a
just a quick blink. I mean, if I'm listening to music in a car and there's a like one of those loud
like a bass drop, like a
no, or like not the kick. I don't know how to describe it. So there's the bass drum, but that doesn't make me blink. I'm talking about the kick. Like that makes me blink.
Like the
yes, that'll make me blink. And I physically cannot play what's the hockey shit that you play when you're at
air hockey?
Yeah, I can't play that, because every single time that it hits, I blink.
Like I don't know what kind of noise that is. Like a clink,
yes,
clink.
I can't do it, bro. And I looked it up, and it was saying it might be something to do with autism, bro. I don't think I'm autistic. I have nothing wrong with it, but
you could be autistic. What does that mean?
I don't know.
You're still. That doesn't mean having disabilities means nothing.
Yeah, that doesn't mean. And even if I were to have it, bro, like, I wouldn't care. Yeah, but I feel like that would make a lot of sense. I'm gonna have to do my research. I don't want to self-diagnose myself.
I did.
Seriously?
With my ADHD, I think I have. I'm pretty sure I have it, but I just dealt with it so much that I learned to deal with it. You know, I don't need Adderall or anything. I just learned how to deal with it.
And that was the thing, because I always associated autism, because I don't think I have it, but if I do, whatever. I always thought that meant that you weren't talkative. I always thought that meant that you were because Elon Musk has Asperger's. He everyone looks at him like he's weird. Yeah. because when he has conversations, he's not normal. Because the way that his brain is wired, it's not as normal as another human brain is. So I don't know if I'm wording that correctly. If I offend anyone, I apologize. I'm just not completely
we know
aware.
we know you didn't mean anything by that.
I'm not completely aware of the situation. However, it's different. So when he has conversations, he talks kind of, I guess the word would be kiddish. So
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
it's just it's interesting, but I don't know. Also, I can't listen to loud music in a car. That shit just
I love loud
I
music.
can't.
I like
Shit hurts my ears.
it's just the feeling of a bass drop. I
hate that shit.
You hate bass drops?
Yes.
What?
Okay, I like having in my car I have -9 all the way to +9, and I keep mine at 0 because a lot of people when they listen to music keep their music at a 9, or I would say at mine because mine's a 9, but a lot of people there keep their music all the way, or their bass all the way at max. I can't do that because I actually want to listen to what the hell the people are saying.
That's why I like drill music, because there's loud beats and loud talking.
Yeah,
And you can dance to it.
yeah. Who's your favorite drill artist?
I have a couple. I say the best drill artist out right now is probably K-Flock.
Okay.
I have a couple friends that make drill music.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Um,
You can shout them out.
Yeah. My man's Jay Sud and little man Jaden. They make pretty good music. I think it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
He does drill. If you like songs like Playboy Cardi, like SSG Kobe, if you like that, you'll probably want to tune into Suds.
Okay.
He's pretty good at what he does. And he's bringing his mans on because he's pretty good too. I pick them up every day and they just rap in the car.
Yeah.
Or we're listening to music and we're dancing in the car.
Yeah. Other than that, I know that camera's about to die. Not die, but it's about to finish the recording. But is there anything else that you would like to add up to? Actually, no. There is one thing that I want to talk about because we mentioned this before. And you mentioned, if you don't mind talking about this, you said that you got canceled on TikTok. We don't have to say what it was, but you mentioned that people were talking about how your girlfriend was blackfishing. Or whatever the word was.
I don't even know how people can think that. Because how is she blackfishing if she's not trying to be black and she's half black?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I guess it's called blackfishing. I don't know what it's called, but I guess that means.
So, blackfishing means that, for example, I were to get a tan to the point where I look as if I am black. Now, obviously, my skin tone wouldn't be black, but what people say Ariana Grande did, Addison Rae did, Kim Kardashian does, where I get like an extreme tan to the point where my skin tone genuinely looks like I could pass as black. So that's blackfishing. Now, cultural appropriation would be wearing the clothes of a black culture and using terms and words that would be considered under the culture or under black culture. So that would be, that would be cultural appropriation. But I don't know. I feel that I guess it's not my room to talk because I'm white.
No, you can talk about it.
Yeah.
Everybody has their opinions about everything. And as black people, we have to be more open-minded to the white people.
Yeah.
Because we're not always right, but we're right about a lot of things.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, that's how the world works. My thing is, I don't think that we should, I'm not going to say the clothing because I can completely understand that, but I don't think that we should try to gatekeep words. And I'm not talking about I'm not talking about slurs.
Yeah.
I'm talking about straight up, like I see people that say that you can't say dead ass and you can't say stuff like that because it's considered African-American vernacular English.
I heard dead ass came from New York.
New York, yeah.
So New York people get mad at us when we say dead ass. I know people from New York, so obviously I'm going to say shit that they say. excuse my language,
No,
but
you're fine.
I'm gonna say things that they say because I adapt to who I'm around.
Yeah, of course. And there's a lot of white people that grow up in around a lot of black people, and they pick up their
Tendencies.
Yeah, they pick up the tendencies, they pick up the English. But if you speak with that sort of if you speak with the vernacular English, that's
everybody knows how black people talk, but like
everyone says you're acting black if you're white. But if you grow up, sorry, I just want to finish what I was saying.
There's a difference between acting black and acting ghetto. Anybody can be ghetto.
Okay,
but the narrative that black people are ghetto.
Yeah, see, that's where it's like
that's where it draws a line.
I think that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Because why are we automatically associating that with?
Yeah, and it's kind of contradicting yourself because you're trying to get away from that. So why are you? You know.
Yeah. Shit is dangerous. Shit's interesting. But I mean, we're not close. We're not close to being perfect, but we're on the track. We are.
I'm trying.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
That's why I have these conversations, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck. I mean, and it's like, I know for a fact that someone could watch this and just say, what the fuck is wrong with this white dude? A white guy with an opinion?
Nah, I know a lot of black people are going to be like, what is wrong with this nigga? Why is he talking? Because I'm just open-minded.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, I'm just open-minded. I like getting other people's point of views of things and thinking like them. Just who I am.
Yeah. And that's why I have fucking everybody on this podcast. I love to know different views, different opinions, and why other people have, separating opinions. And if you disagree with me, let's have a proper disagree.
And that's why there's so much blur.
Yeah.
Because nobody knows what everybody's thinking.
I know.
But people are neglecting talking to other people.
Yeah.
That they aren't used to talking. So it's not like you can't judge somebody for thinking that way if you don't know why they're thinking that way.
No, I mean, exactly. I mean, if you grow up, there's a story of two brothers or two sisters, whatever the story is, and one comes from both of them come from the same parents, and the parent was a terrible parent, and one of the kids becomes extremely successful, and the other kid becomes a living on the crackhead on the side of the street, and both of them have the exact same reason for the reason that they got to where they are in their life, and it was because of their parent. So one of the parents or one of the kids took what they grew up with and they used it to their advantage. They wanted to not live like that, and then the other one used that reason to live like that. So it's really, life is all about perspective. If you, and I know I keep saying that, but if you live your life as if someone has it out for you, if you live your life in a constant state of fear, you're going to always be afraid. Yeah. If you live your life understanding that, now I'm not saying don't be cautious, but I'm just saying, like, don't live your life so afraid, and understand that regardless of the skin color of the people that are around you, we are all human. Don't be fucking afraid just because someone's white. Don't be fucking afraid just because someone's black. Like, I hate hearing that shit, bro. If I'm gonna groom a fucking ton of black people, dude, I'm gonna feel fucking normal.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna I don't know, dude.
Like,
bothers me.
I try to make the most of every situation.
Yes.
Like, I used to get, like, I'm not gonna lie, I used to get, like, it was just a weird vibe. I understand. I wouldn't get, like, nervous or anything, but it would be like a weird vibe. But you just gotta break the ice.
Yes. That's all it is. That's all it is. But I think that social media really is fucking us up, dude.
Yeah.
It is.
I tell myself I'm gonna delete Snapchat, Instagram every day, but I don't do it. Can't do it.
Nope. It's sad. But like I said, we're in an experimental time right now. We're gonna get better. I do believe. And I think that we are we're better. We're good. We'll get better. I'm pretty confident when I say that. But also, what do you think is the worst that can happen? What do you think is the worst that can happen? Seriously.
Saying like
in the next 10 years, realistically, what is the worst possible thing that can happen that you think is realistic?
Caused by what?
Not climate change, not a natural disaster happening, straight up just humans.
Humans?
Yes.
War.
Okay.
A huge war.
Do you think it would be a civil war? It's like right versus left. What do you think it would be?
Yeah, it would be a civil war.
Okay.
That would probably be the way that things go down. If it doesn't happen naturally, it's probably going to go down like that because the way people are, some people don't like other people's opinions. Some people are not open-minded. Some people think one way and think that way is the only way.
Yep.
And you cannot change that about that person. And there's a lot of people like that. I don't understand it, but that's just how they are. That's just how they are naturally.
Yeah. Shit is scary.
Yeah.
You know, I was also thinking about it this way. I keep looking at the cameras, by the way, because that one's out. So at about like an hour and 50 minutes, your shot's going to be out. And then I'm just going to use the main shot because I don't want a shot specifically on me if yours isn't going to be able to be there. So the rest is just going to be in the middle. We'll have to stop pretty soon. But what I will say is what we were talking about earlier, right? Someone could watch this podcast and say, all right, I'm going to cancel this guy. Like, oh, stop watching him because he has a differing opinion than what the common belief is, and honestly, I'm okay with that. I'm serious. Like, if someone were to cancel me for my beliefs, first of all, I don't think my beliefs are wrong at all because I think that they're completely reasonable. I think they're understandable, and I don't think I have them out of any malintent. And I think that my beliefs are all because I truly do believe that I'm a good person and I want good in this world. I just have a different viewpoint and a way of getting to that. And I don't really fear that cancellation. Like I did at first, but now I really don't because I would rather be myself than try to pretend to be someone that I'm not in order for you to agree with me. And if we have a differing opinion, I'm okay with that, bro, because I don't think I'm wrong. And if I am wrong, I'm 1000% willing to bite my fucking tongue. And not bite my tongue, but say, you're right. I'm wrong. I apologize. I'm sorry for, I'm
hard-headed.
Really?
Yeah. I don't like being wrong, but I know when I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But I can talk so much that I can convince people to think like me.
Yeah.
I'm not taking no for an answer. It's either if I know something and I truly think I know something, I will argue my ass off until you think I'm right.
I'm with you. And I am like you until a point where I'm like, I'm just wasting my time because I can tell that person is not going to change their opinion.
Oh yeah, when it comes to that, I'll just
whatever.
Because they're obviously they're like me too. So.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah.
So my point of saying this is, if I am straight up wrong, I am going to admit that I'm wrong. Like you have to completely show me facts, evidence. You have to write a whole goddamn C-set. You have to say a C-set just to prove that I'm wrong because I am pretty hard-headed, but I'm open-minded.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense in my eyes. So I have my beliefs, but then I'm also willing to listen to other beliefs, but it's going to take a lot to change me. Yeah. But I'm willing to listen. And if I'm wrong, I will say, you know what? You're fucking right. But a lot of people, I don't know if a lot of people will agree with that.
Nope.
But I think we'll change. Maybe not. Maybe. We'll see.
It won't change.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the future. I'm serious, dude. I am, bro. We're moving.
I'm kind of scared for the future. Well, I'm not scared. I like knowing what's going to happen.
Okay.
That's why I'm not big on religion, because you never know what's going to happen. This religion could be right. This religion could be right, or this religion could be right. You never know.
Yeah.
So I'm more of a see it to believe it
Yep.
type guy. You know, I'm not the type to put my trust in something I don't know I could trust in.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm with you, because when I've been talking to one of my coworkers, and they really do believe in the manifestation. They believe that if you believe something strong enough, that your body will ascend to somewhere else. And I listen to that and I'm like, bro, that sounds like such fucking nonsense. That sounds like such BS.
that's because you were probably raised to think that way, or you saw something else and you chose to think that, or you think that way because of your experience.
Exactly. And I have nothing, and this is where I'm different. I have nothing wrong with a person that does believe that. I just have a differing belief than you. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't make me any better or worse of a person. Yeah. And you can't get mad at me for having a differing view, because I have differing experiences that have proved me, well, not proved me, but that have showed me differently.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't physically show me proof that anybody has actually reincarnated themselves, that anybody has actually ascended to heaven. That, I mean, at least from what I've seen and what I've heard, I've never seen actual proof that someone's body went to a planet, or, you know, I'm just saying other things. But if that is what you believe in and that makes you happy at the end of the day, I have nothing wrong with that, bro. You do you. If that gives you a reason to live your life, and that gives you a reason to be happy when you die, to be happy when you go to sleep at night, why am I mad at you? Why am I going to try and create a decision for you saying that life is different after we die? Yeah. Because I don't want to say who cares, but at the end of the day, it depends whether you're nihilistic or not, whether life has no meaning, life has a meaning or not. At the end of the day, I know this might sound fucked up. We're all going to die. Who knows what's going to happen? I'm at the point where I'm like, bro, I'm excited for anything that happens. Now, I'm maybe not excited, but I'm in for the ride, bro. I'm just trying to enjoy myself.
I'm not scared to die.
For real? Mm-mm. I think that I say that I'm not afraid to die, but if I was ever put in a situation, I'll be terrified, bro. Because I do like living. I fucking love living.
I like living, but
yeah. I understand. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, you get hard times come, and you starting to reflect on hard times, and that makes it worse. Yeah. So, I've had a lot of people leave my life early. Some of my good friends, some of my closest relatives leave me. I've had a lot of stuff happen to me. I don't want to go into it because, you know, get emotional.
Yeah, of course.
But like, yeah.
I'm really glad that I'm glad that you can mention that in the first place without, you know, making that.
Because sometimes you have to grow up and not like deal with it, but like accept the fact that that's how life is and that's how it goes. Yeah.
I'm with you. And what I was saying was I'm really glad that you can accept that and understand that that's the way life goes. Not to quote Lil Uzi, but you know what I mean?
I was about to say.
Yeah. Nah, I'm glad myself that I haven't had to deal with any death. However, I could never, like, I can't understand what it's like for that to happen to me. So I could never speak on it because I haven't went through the experience. Yeah. So that's just, I love hearing something like that because I have seen what that can do to a person, and for you to be humble about it and say that how much that makes you emotional and how much that affected or affects you, bro, that means a lot. I'm serious. But anything else you want to add, Broheem Mostert? Brotato Chip?
Who's the best artist out right now?
Best artist out right now?
Because people get rapper and artist mixed up. Like, to me, I consider Lil Uzi an artist. I don't consider him a rapper.
Okay. All right.
Like,
I like that.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like, certain people, I don't consider them rappers, even though they're called rappers. They're not really rappers. I call them artists.
I think I'm with you because I would say the same thing about Playboi Carti. Playboi Carti's not a rapper.
He's not a rapper. He's an artist.
Yeah, he's completely an artist. I think so. What separates? So not to change your question, but I want to get to the answer. I just want to change your question a little bit.
All right.
What separates a rapper from an artist?
Being able to rap, sing, melodize, everything.
Okay.
That makes you an artist.
All right. Okay. Good answer. Who is a straight up rapper then? Who is not an artist?
Like a straight rapper.
Yeah, like a rapper.
Like I would say like.
First person that comes to my mind is T Grizzly.
Yeah. I will be a rapper.
Yeah.
What's his name? I think it's like Montana 300.
Yeah, Montana 300.
Yeah, he's a
Drill music,
rapper. Yeah. Rapper. But people like Uzi, Cardi.
I would even say Dirk is an artist because he makes soft
Dirk,
music.
Baby. They melodize, sing. They do all types of stuff. Rod Wave. Is he a singer or a rapper?
I got to give him a singer title.
He's both.
Yeah.
Because he be spitting that.
Yeah. So then he would be an artist.
You know how I get about my Rod Wave.
I know.
You know how I get about my Rod Wave. That's my guy.
Of course.
This is the latest album.
Soulfly
Spoke a lot to me.
Yeah.
That album probably means a lot to me. It means that's probably the album that means the most to me.
Really?
Even though it's a new album, but I was listening to all the new release, everything before it even came out, singing it, crying sometimes because I can relate to it. Me and my friends, we used to listen to that all the time, sing together, you know, like it was just a different vibe, you know. And some people like different music. You cannot like Rod Wave. I don't care.
Yeah.
He affects me differently. You can like, some people think King Von's the best rapper out right now, or was the best rapper out, or is current. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
Because he's deceased, but they think King Von is, or like Lil Durk is like the best rapper out. And I say, Lil Baby is probably the best artist out statistically, but personally, I think Rod Wave is the best artist out right now.
Yeah, and I think that it's all objective.
Uzi, those are my top three: Rod, Baby, Uzi. My top three.
My top three. I'm changing mine up. Uzi, Thug.
Yeah. That's a goat.
You know, I'm gonna just say my top five because I don't think I can say a three, but I could say Uzi and Thug. Uzi, Thug, Baby, Gunna, and Cardi.
Solid list.
Yeah.
I'll go Rod 1, Uzi 2, Baby 3.
Okay.
I love Future. It's my fourth.
I like Future. I do.
And Drake.
Yeah.
I think Drake is the greatest artist of all time.
I do too. I'm not gonna lie.
And Drake is the greatest art. Like, he puts out hit after hit after hit. He makes other people's songs hits just for him being on the song. Every album, platinum. Number one.
Yeah.
Number one. Like, he's the greatest, probably the greatest art. He's not a rapper though.
No. Oh, he's the
definition of an artist.
Yes.
Like an artist. And people get that mixed up with rapper. Like, they try to put him up with in the rappers, like the top rappers list, but they should put him in the top artist list. You know
I
what
like
I'm talking
that.
about?
I have a question for you. If there was one song that you wish you could be there for when it was being recorded, what song would it be?
When it was being recorded,
Yes.
it would have to be a hype song because I like dancing.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of songs I could.
I already know mine off the top of the head.
What is it?
Sup, mate.
Something.
Yep. Bro, do you know how high they were recording that song?
And there's some artists that make music for high people, like Gunna. High people.
Yeah.
I used to. I could vibe to some Gunna, but there's some
Gunna.
people that hate Gunna.
I've never heard a song where he has not rode the beat.
He rides the beat. Pause. He rides the beat all the time, but some people just hate him for some whatever reason. Like,
I mean, the reason is because it seems as if he doesn't put, I think
Effort.
it's effort. Yeah. Because he he rides the beat, but it doesn't seem as if he puts like emotion into the music. But I think that's the point of Gunna's music. It's not meant to be emotional. It's just meant to. I feel like I'm on. It's
meant to vibe.
I'm about to know. Yeah. I mean,
you meant to vibe.
Yeah. And that's what I like about Gunna, because he knows his lane and he's staying in it. But sometimes he tries to, I would say sometimes he tries, I don't even know if I could say sometimes he tries to move out of his comfort zone. But that's also kind of the reason that I like him. He knows his place and he continues to keep going in his place. And he's successful at it because no one else can do what he does as well as he does.
That's
why he's still up there.
That's why I like my friends that make music, because they're their self. They be their self, and they put it in their songs. No matter if anybody likes it or not, they like it, and they're still going to keep dropping songs and keep making songs because they like to do it.
Yep.
And I actually think it's pretty good. Y'all should tune in. SoundCloud, Suds, $, instead of the S, put a $, and then there's a Z at the end. Tune in. Just tune in, because my boy's coming up.
Yes, sir.
My boy's coming up.
$, UDZ.
He's probably the most unique. He's very unique. Like, he has his own mix and his own flow. Like, I've never heard his flow before, because he's taken so many different flows and put it into his own flow, and he's himself. That's what I like about artists that be their self.
Yeah.
You have to be yourself. You can't be somebody you're not. You can't be rapping about things that you don't do, because it's fake.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not being yourself. When you be yourself, you start to grow as a person.
Yes.
On top of that, you get confident in what you're doing. And confidence is the biggest thing when it comes to anything in life.
Yeah. No, I mean, we talked about that. Literally, confidence was the main basis for about every single thing that we were saying. I'm with you. Nah, dude. I mean, I'm back to what we were saying. I'm gonna just mention Sup Mate again, because I was listening to that earlier today. Every time I listen to that song, I just think I wish I was in that studio, because I know for a fact that that was probably the most fun song to ever record, because they're just sitting in there like going hee hee and just doing stupid stuff the entire time. I crushed up exfilling her asshole.
Yeah, bro.
That song is so fire.
I just want to do the ad libs sometimes, you know?
Yes.
Like, I love doing ad libs. I think I could be a good artist if I tried.
I probably could too. I would be on the lines of Playboy Cardi, just saying absolute nonsense.
Yeah. Or I think I'd be a good drill rapper. But it all comes with confidence. If you're not confident in it, you're not gonna, it's not gonna, because people get a vibe. When you're not confident, people know that you're not confident, you know? And it makes, I don't know, I can't explain it. Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the reason why I love Uzi, and I've mentioned this in the last podcast, why I like Playboy Cardi so much right now, because I think that he's really being himself. He's going out of the wave of that everyone expected him to go down, and now he's literally a vampire.
I think if I were to be in Playboy Cardi's shoes, I would be terrified, because the music industry can change your image so much.
I know.
It could change you into somebody who you don't want to be. And I'd probably, with all the eyes on me, probably be somebody that everybody liked. Everybody, you know?
Yeah.
I don't like people hating me, per se.
Yeah, camera's off, but we still have that one. It's going to be off pretty soon, but it's all good. So, it's just on me right now.
Yeah.
My apologies, Chris.
Spotlight.
Yeah, I got the spotlight on me right now. I'll figure it out whenever I have to work the cameras out afterwards. But
that's cool.
That does mean that we do have to wrap up.
Nice little 2-hour.
That was a good conversation. I'm gonna take what my dad said and really stop cutting out stuff. No matter what it is, whether or not like I'm afraid to get canceled if we talk about something, but I really do think that is the best way to have a podcast, is just to truly
voice your opinion.
Yeah.
And keep voicing your opinion.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to build, because you can do things with this, bro.
I know.
and you got to just keep voicing your opinion, because your opinion means things to certain people.
Yeah.
Some people need to hear what you have to say and what other people have to say, because themselves, they can't get it out.
Yeah.
They like relating to other people, but some people are shy.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I was talking to the dude at my work, and he said to me, Brandon, you have to blow this up without really showing your side of the argument and your opinion. And I'm starting to think about what he said, and I'm like, yeah, that'll probably be the easiest way to blow up, because no one really knows my opinion, but that's just not me. Like, I can't blow myself up without giving my opinion on a certain thing, because that's just not who I am. Yeah. I can't get behind that. Like, I understand that and understand why, but I'm not in the industry yet to the point where I have to do that.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I think my opinions make sense. I think they do. And I mean, if you disagree with them, argue with me, bro.
Everybody's opinions make sense, but
if you can justify them,
if you can justify your opinion, obviously, but sometimes people think, they think that their opinion's dumb. Yeah. They don't want to tell, but somebody else right next to you could be thinking the exact same thing, and that creates conversation. That creates you getting out, meeting new people, and then branching out. Yeah. That's what happened to me, because was quiet. Yeah, started talking to people. You know, I already explained it a couple of times.
It's crazy how much we change, bro.
Yeah, it's just maturing as it comes along with it.
What's the biggest thing you've learned from maturing? Bro, I can keep this conversation going forever, bro. We gotta wrap this up.
Yeah, we gotta wrap it up.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's
I
cool.
like it though. It's easy, bro. It's easy, isn't it?
You know what we could do?
What's good?
Come back tomorrow, same clothes.
That'd be a good idea. I gotta have this out though by 7 p.m. Tomorrow. Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, but I have to make ends meet. Oh God, that's the one thing. Oh, we'll get back to what I was saying. I just want to get back to what the question that I asked you. I just want to say this real quick because the caffeine's starting to wear off. But I also wanted to say this before I forgot, and I forgot. So we'll go back to the question that I asked you. My bad, bro.
Wait, what?
It was what have you learned the most from maturing?
Not everything is what you think it is, and by what I mean by that is life isn't as scary as it can be scary, but life isn't as scary as you think it is. You could your whole life you could I don't know how to explain it, man.
You're good. Can I take a guess on what you mean?
Yeah, you can.
So your entire I'm just gonna take a guess. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. You can see something your entire life and
one way.
Yes.
And then you look out. Another way to do it.
Yeah.
Look over here. Another way to do it. Look behind you. Another way to do it.
So there's always a plan B, plan C, plan D.
There's always a plan. Because every time something's bad happened to me, always learn from it. Did something way better. Way better. I'm talking, I left McDonald's and I didn't have a job. Wasn't really working.
Camera just died. Camera just died. We can have a black screen. We just got to hurry it up. We just got to hurry it up. Say it. Finish it.
So I quit McDonald's. Didn't have a job. No money. No car. Next thing you know, my friend's hitting me up. Yo, you want a job? I'm like, yeah, of course I want a job. I'm coming to Dairy Queen tomorrow. You have an interview. I was like, oh, snap. For real?
Next
day? He said, yeah, just went into the store, met the manager, had an interview probably next 2 days. Stayed there for a little bit, got a car. Actually bought 2 cars. I think if you want to get in the cars and you don't have a lot of money, just buy like a Honda Civic or a Honda Accord and then save up a little bit of money. Sell that. Because Hondas don't go out of, you can't depreciate the value of a Honda. So the old Hondas are always going to be around 1K, 2K, like 3K range. So you're always going to have clients because they know Hondas, Toyotas, they always stay together. Like they're reliable. Those are reliable cars. So you can sell those cars because the value doesn't depreciate. And you can build your way up. Newer car. You know, you always got to start from somewhere. If you don't have anything, you can always start from somewhere. There's always a way out. Not everything can be given to you, but you can always find another way to get something you want.
Okay.
If it's not given to you, there's always a way.
I like that. No excuses.
No excuses.
Respect. I think that's a good way to finish off the podcast. 2 hours and 23 minutes.
Yikes.
God damn, that is a long conversation, bro. I'm cool with that, bro. I love having these. I could talk for so much longer too.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's scary how easy it is to talk once you get in a rhythm, but you have to stop at a certain point. I mean, you don't have to, but and I'm not even at the point where it's like, oh, my fans are gonna watch this for that long. I don't even care, bro.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for me.
Even when you talk to people in person, I gotta go to work. I'll be like, we were just having a good conversation. Oh, my girlfriend's calling me. I gotta leave. Oh, my mom's calling me. I gotta leave.
Yeah.
Like you could be vibing with somebody so well and something will just make them leave.
Yeah.
But just continue the conversation.
Yeah.
Or get in touch with that person. Just, continue the conversation. Just
yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That was a good ass podcast. One of the best, not gonna lie. I mean that. Of course. And this concludes episode 17 of the Brandon Alper Experience with my boy Chris Myers. Do you have a nickname?
I have many nicknames.
Let me hear them.
People call me Crazy Black. I don't know why. They call me CJ. They call me a lot. I don't know why. I have a lot of nicknames. But the one, I don't know why people call me Crazy Black. Like,
Crazy Black.
I think my uncle, Zaren's dad,
Yep.
he was the one that called me Crazy Black. And then Zaren just called me Crazy Black. And now everybody's called me Crazy Black. Like, I don't know how that sits, but I started embracing it, you know?
I got a few myself.
What?
I got Box Cutter.
Box Cutter?
Yeah. I got the Dooney Defeater. I've got a Feet King.
Feet King?
Feet Goblin.
Yeah, we know about the feats.
All right, bro. We are not going to speak upon that.
Yeah, it's time to.
It is time to finish the podcast.
After that,
we are done. All right. I love to have my guests click the red button, even though you can't see it.
Yeah, click the red button, man. It always helps.
It always does.
All the support in the world helps. Even leaving a comment.
I'm at that red button. But no, I feel you. The subscribe button.
The subscribe button. Yeah,
Bro, you're good. All right. And like I said, I love to have my guests click the red button. So as you may, please, my young friend.
And we're out.